Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Mage 2000X of TBD, The Darkness Binds. And we are sitting in the Chantry, with Satoshi, um, and Bentley, having had horrible nightmares last night. Just the most horrible things that you can imagine. Um, and yet did not have the ability to wake up out of the nightmares.
Oh, oof. He's just gonna be like wide awake, lying in bed after he wakes up. Um, he's almost just gonna look frozen. Like he couldn't believe what he just witnessed and experienced because it felt so real. He'll just get up, put his clothes on kind of groggily, and head to a computer. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Waiting on Satoshi.
Um, Satoshi is probably, I'm assuming, considering, he was closer, to what was going on than most, considering he was in the Akashic Temple. So he's probably just, quietly wandering the halls. And then he'll probably end up in the training room, dojo, I suppose, and he'll just start going through some of his movements and everything to try to calm his nerves down after the nightmares.
Um, there you notice that in one of the little recreation areas, as you walk by it, like some of the other Akashics are sitting in front of a um what looks like a TV, but you're not sure how they snuck it in there. But either way, like you hear like one of the news anchors say that this just in apparently there's been some kind of um attack against a multitude of nations, and or something has come against the psyche of man. As everyone is considering, as everyone has been complaining about having nightmares in the northern hemisphere, and because of this, certain countries are arming up because none of the southern nations have said anything about them having nightmares.
Fucking no. What the fuck? That's probably what Bentley is saying when he's on the computer.
Yeah, Satoshi is he's probably just gonna sit with the other brothers then and just kind of watch the TV then.
You because this is like the news channel, like various countries are like you can see the news from various countries being played side by side, um, with translations at the bottom, and um, this might be the first thing that has brought Russia, the U.S., and China together as a group in a very long time.
What the fuck could the Southern Hemisphere do? Oh, Jesus. Are there any other VAs around?
There's a couple of guys, and they are like chatting very fast with some group of people, like online.
Huh.
And some guys come out of the back room um, with Dr. Caspian, who looks extremely worried. Um, and they're talking in technobabble. And you'll notice that they're not dressed like the rest of the VAs around here. Like, they definitely have more technological gear upon them. Before they get, and they are still talking to Dr. Caspian.
I'm gonna go over there and see what they're talking about. Not necessarily get in on the conversation, but just kind of get a gist of what's happening and what the VAs are gonna do.
Well, they seem to be talking about, the explosion of belief returning to the world, talks that this couldn't have been, any kind of viretical or airborne plague. So it has a great deal of the masses considering that some kind of hoodoo was done to them. The world leaders, however, fully under the control of the League, have not been apprised of what happened because they don't know, but they're trying to, do fire control as fast as possible. Though one of them says, to be honest, like, I'd rather just be on Jupiter's space station.
I don't know. These technocracy guys you talk about, I have a feeling they'll come up with something. Let's hope things don't go awry from here.
And they like nod to Caspian, and one of them pulls out what can only be described as like a old like tricorder from the first Star Trek, and he goes, "Beam me up," and they are just like Star Trek, like the little glitter thing happens.
Can't believe that. Well,
Dr. Cassian is just shaking his head and like pull, like conjures a whiteboard and like on a wall and starts drawing on it. And it is a great deal of math that is beyond you.
yay. He'll try and like maybe even, I don't know, I can't take pictures of it. He'll try and note some of it down, what he understands, like what he can at least get the gist of, maybe.
All right, give me a straight intelligence roll, and I'll give you pieces of the puzzle.
All right, this is the one. I think he has a intelligence specialty. I believe it's bright. Yes, it's bright.
I don't feel that that's going to be applicable in this situation.
What's the difficulty?
9. This is math way outside of your league.
1 success.
All right, so you managed to parse some of the math, and it looks like it has to do with actual creation of energy. Not normal, because, apparently the rules state that energy cannot be destroyed or created, only transformed.
He'll kind of have a holy shit look on his face. So kind of looking down, though. And so we got transported out to like a different area?
No. Those two men, whoever they were transported out of this area in a very shimmery look. You're still in the same place that you were. They are just now no longer to be seen.
But Dr. Caspian is still there.
Yeah, he's still right, and he's writing on a whiteboard that he conjured up, and conjures another one, and he's floats up to write on more. It looks like he's getting really deep in it, and some of the other VAs walk up and look at it, but only 2 of them manage to look at it, understand the picture, and start helping.
Damn. He'll just try and piece out whatever he can, but mostly just kind of maybe talk to the guy next to him, and maybe talk to him, maybe one of the more experienced VAs he might have been talking to, and seeing what he can learn.
Well, you look at one of the older VAs, and eventually even your grandfather looks at it, and he starts drawing on a board as well.
Oh, great.
But this older VA just looks at you and says, "Well, it looks like some kind of world hacking is being done. It's about all that I can get, though."
This has to do with energy creation.
I didn't see that part. I just knew that it was changing something fundamental in the world.
Maybe they finally have the power, the energy to do it. Because I see this equation here. It has to do with some of Hermes energy. This one seems to be, what do you call it, exponential. Which is kind of weird. I don't understand that, but.
Well, this math and reality modification is far beyond me.
Fair enough. Yeah, let him go.
Now we're gonna go back to Satoshi. You've watched 14 different countries now give kind of the same statement that something really wrong has happened and no one can explain it.
Yeah, he'll send a text to Bentley, just kind of asking, do your guys have any idea what all of this is about?
It seems like they do, but I can't follow the math. Something to do with energy creation and reality hacking.
Is that is way out of his purview, and he does not deal with math and reality hacking. He'll just send a thumbs up.
What about you? Okay.
My bad. There you go.
What about your end? Question mark.
I was just about to go ask.
Good luck. He'll just put GL.
I'll put a question mark because this guy just came from Japan. They probably do not have the same slang and acronyms as
Listen,
we do.
oh, it means good luck.
He'll do the thumb up emoji and kind of against his better judgment, go to try to find Master Zhao.
Master Zhao is in the dojo by himself, and you can see that he is practicing some very esoteric or high form of some martial art.
Okay, because interrupting him would probably not be the best idea for right now. He'll kind of sit politely, kind of pretty much watching him as he goes about, waiting to be called on or for him to finish.
It takes him a few minutes. It looks like he was just finishing up his after combat stretches. And then he looks at you. Oh, apprentice, how are you doing? As he comes and sits down opposite you and pulls up a tea tray.
I am doing well, Master Zhao. And yourself?
Oh, I have done better, but very interesting things are happening today.
Indeed, I've seen the news.
Yes, apparently magic is coming back into the world, though it is coming back because of fear, which is not exactly the best thing.
Do you know how this happened?
Let me look at his sheet. That manipulation 1 and no subterfuge life.
Subterfuge is for ninnies.
Exactly. Tell the truth and then beat the truth out of others.
Kinda.
He just goes, yes, of course. There was a Archmage duel last night. That may have had something to do with this.
Blink, blink.
Just a Tuesday.
He'll just look there and he's got that look of, can I get a better explanation?
Well, certain Uthanatos decided that stabbing my apprentice was the way to go about their awakening process, and I had a few coarse things to say to him. And then I may have been insulted and hit him in the groin with certain martial arts that cause pattern damage to certain parts of the body. And then the duel formally started.
I see.
Damn.
I hope you won the challenge.
Sadly, we are too matched in strength for there to be any winner declared.
He'll nod.
It also did not help matters that John Smith showed up and had a face like a thunderstorm from us fighting.
That must have been unpleasant.
He is ancient and knows a great many things, so it was very unpleasant when he decided that enough was enough. He watched the duel after all for a little while.
So what is going to happen now?
Well, now everyone is running around trying to see what they can do to harvest the energy or use the change in consensus.
And what will that cause?
Well, theoretically, it'll make curses more effective as well as blessings. That is merely a theory that I have, but it should hold out if nothing less or nothing more happens. It was also something also has been preying on the minds of the archmages left in the world, and something is reaching inwards towards our world, and we are not sure what yet.
You have any clues or any inklings of what it might be?
We have 2 names, and those names give us no information. We can't find any information about them.
Might I be able to know these names in case I come across a clue?
Count Strahd, and the other name, one second while I look and see how I spelled it.
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Out of character, it should.
Yeah, what I'm talking about. It sounds like I can't remember if that was Magic the Gathering or because I know like they had that big like straw thing.
And then something Gizax? Zagig? Yeah, Zagig, that was it.
He nods. If I am able to find anything, I will be sure to tell you. Thank you for telling me all that you have. And I'm sorry for how events turned out yesterday. I was not planning to be stabbed going out for coffee.
Well, you should be more attentive to your surroundings. This is New York and a very dangerous place, especially with mages awakening left and right.
Well, to be fair, the I don't particularly know what I was shot with, but it wasn't entirely life-threatening. It was when I was stabbed that kind of started the problem.
Yes, well. If you or any of your younger friends find anything about these names, please bring it up to the council.
Of course, I will.
Do you have any other questions for me?
I believe that is all, thank you. Oh, one more actually. What was that style you were using?
It is a elder style of dough. Something that even some of the masters have forgotten over the years.
He nods. It was very interesting. I hope you have a pleasant morning.
I will. Though I would suggest you stay away from James St. John today.
I was not planning on really interacting with anyone other than everyone here and then perhaps Bentley.
Well, that sounds good enough for me. If you'll excuse me, I have apprentices to begin training in expert levels of martial arts so that they may begin to understand the complexities that is the way.
Nods.
You are, of course, welcomed to join at any time you wish, if you would like.
I will do so eventually. For right now, I believe that I should speak to Bentley on this. He was curious as to what was going on. It seems the people he associates with believes this to be some sort of I really can't remember what they called it. It was something weird and it involved math. But I believe he should be informed as to what is going on so that he may tell his people.
All right. I would actually caution you to not spread that information too far around. As of right now, only the Archmage's apprentices know the full truth that we can give them.
So I should not tell him then?
Only tell him if you believe that he will tell no one else.
He seems to heed warnings very well. He's a cautious man.
Caution is needed in these trying times.
He is certainly full of it. He will bow with your leave.
Go on. See me again tomorrow. I will begin working on those hand tattoos of yours.
He bows and heads out. Then he'll head over to. He'll actually text Bentley, just be like, I've figured out what is going on and happened, if you wish to know.
Cool. There still seems to be a lot of stuff going on here. We can meet in front of the Cult of Ecstasy place.
It would be best to speak about this in a more private location.
There's the Sanctum I'm building. I'm the only one allowed it. Only me and our guests are allowed. No peeping.
If you are sure if it is secure.
Grog, would I?
You're breaking up something fierce. What did you say?
The Sanctum he's building for himself in one of the lodgings, or either at home or in the chantry. Would he be sure it's secure?
You don't have enough knowledge really to know how to secure a chantry or a sanctum yet.
Right.
You just know how to make it to where you don't explode when you do vulgar things.
Fair enough. So he'll say, to be honest, I'm still thinking it through, so if it's that sensitive, maybe it's best if we just hang and chat instead. Maybe even figure out what's going on. Maybe we should go boots on the ground in New York and see how people are reacting.
I did not really hear what you said. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Is it easier to hear me now?
You're so pretty.
You're still real garbled.
Hello?
Hello.
Do I sound better?
Oh, so much better.
Awesome. So he said maybe we should go boots on the ground in New York and actually, find out how people are reacting to this. See if there's see what people are conversing about and stuff like that.
That would work.
I mean, everyone's going to be talking about this, so it won't be too strange for two strangers talking about it, I guess. You ever been to a breakfast place?
Not here in America.
I should take you. It's really good stuff. Here, meet me at the exit, and I'll show you.
I will be there.
Coolio. He'll meet you at the exit of the chantry.
And he will be there.
He'll say later to the other VAs, some of the other VAs he's gotten to know, and say he's just going to see what's going on in New York for himself.
They all nod, and because they're all now working to the best of their ability to help on this math problem.
Cool.
Sucks.
I mean, it's way too over my head for me to be able to help anyway, right? Like, I'm still new to all this.
Oh yeah, like this is into realms of math that you don't understand yet, and until you take high rituals, you won't be able to.
Huh, I would have thought Esoterica would be enough. Okay. Well, we'll invest in that. But anyway, yeah, he'll show up to Satoshi.
She will nod in greeting.
Hey, so it's basically down Baker Street. It's like this nice diner, and they sell eggs and bacon and French toast and stuff like that. And it's pretty cheap, and it's really, really good.
I've never had French toast before.
Oh, it's so good. It's basically toast dipped in eggs, uh, and heated up in a pan, or battered eggs, and yeah, put on a pan to fry. It's really delicious. And then you give maple syrup.
Why would you dip bread in eggs?
You'll see.
I suppose I will.
So yeah, I walk into the place. How are people doing on the streets of New York? Is what I want to know.
They're angrier than generally is normal for New Yorkers.
Whoa.
Like someone will bump someone else, and like fistfights will break out.
Oh,
Like
shit.
fistfights between two almost model-esque women in high heels happens at least twice that you can see.
Jesus fucking Christ, people are touchy. He'll just maybe open a chat room with his friends and just say, shit, people are fucking pissed out here. Everybody's touchy.
I mean, if you had a nightmare that you couldn't wake up from, you get touchy, didn't you?
I'm definitely fucking touchy, but damn, it's not helping that everyone else is shit. Anyway, I hope the math problem works out. So, yeah, he'll turn left on Baker Street and enter the breakfast grill shop.
Yep. And Satoshi will follow. Um, yeah, when they get inside, he just kind of. It's pretty much like he's just kind of waiting on instruction from Bentley, because he's not really sure, what to get and how to entirely do it here. He also probably hasn't gotten his money converted yet to American dollars.
And Bentley will pay for you. He has a decent work relationship with his gramps. They're pretty tight. So he'll pay. And he'll sit down. And usually these places, like from my experience, especially on a day like this, it's really loud, and basically like no one could listen in on your conversation really.
You must have some like different diners and stuff, because like down here, I know if you go to like a little breakfast place, kind of early in the morning, like you would for breakfast, there's usually not a lot of people there, and it's hella quiet.
Really? That's the opposite here. It's called South Street Grill, and god damn, it doesn't get busy. It's super popular.
Must be different in Canada land.
I guess we Canadians love our fucking breakfast.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we do too, but most people just kind of stay home and make it occasionally.
Oh man, I gotta have breakfast tomorrow morning. I haven't had like legit breakfast in fucking forever.
You'd totally send me some.
Anyway, yeah, they're eating breakfast. And you'll say, yeah, but we were working on this crazy math problem. Something to do with energy creation. Not sure what's going on with that. Most of it was way over my head. But as far as I know, he can't create energy unless things are different now.
Hasn't that always been the case? You can create nor destroy energy, just change it.
No, like energy is being created. I think.
How would that work? Yeah, either way, that is not something I can wrap my mind around.
I guess there might be something to this. Who knows?
Indeed.
Maybe there's way more to things than we ever thought we could imagine.
It is starting to seem like that, isn't it?
Anyway, oh, here comes the French toast. And basically, you can put some butter on it if you want, but you just cut it out, dip it in the maple syrup, and enjoy. And I guess he'll dig in.
Yeah. It's Toshi will as well. He'll, start eating it, and he'd probably comment how it's like really weird and super different from what he would usually eat. But that it doesn't taste too bad.
Hey, it's different.
Indeed, it is. But
Sometimes there's always that fourth bite when you try something new, where all of a sudden you like it. That's when you know you like it.
of course, I would ask that what I'm about to tell you, you keep. What is the term that Americans use? Keep it.
On the down low.
I believe so, if that is the same thing as keeping it close to your butt, your bosom.
Pretty much.
Yes. It has been asked of me to keep this under wraps for the most part.
Well, if you want to tell me, I'll be sure to be willing to follow that condition. So basically, keep it to myself completely. Eh?
For the most part, yes. This is something best left without a lot of people. To put it simply, it seems that when I told Master Xiao what had happened the other day with the stabbing and all of that, he... What is a way to put this? Became very upset at... Oh, see, what's the Thanatos dude's name again? I can't remember.
James St. John.
Okay, that dude. Okay. After everything that happened with James St. John, he was not pleased. And there was apparently an altercation between the two of them that has caused this as backlash.
It definitely is a paradox. I'm surprised Dr. Caspian wouldn't have known or mentioned this. Can that really happen just from two things fighting each other like that?
That seems to be the case.
That's a little crazy.
It's like
I don't know how to feel about any of this. It seems like things are getting rattled lately. And I don't think we need more of it.
indeed not, but it seems to be the way of the world now.
How are you holding up from yesterday?
I am still alive, if that makes much of a difference.
Yeah,
I wish I was back home, but we can't all have what we wish for.
yeah. Hopefully, whatever this is feels like home.
There are also two names. Apparently, they are encroaching on the minds of the Archmasters. Um, a Count Strahd, something other like that, and then a Zagig.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Those are the names of whatever seem to be encroaching on the Archmaster's minds.
What? So wait, something was encroaching on them, so something tried to orchestrate this?
No, the altercation between the two Archmasters yesterday was of their own doing after the stabbing incident. But there was apparently something else that has been causing problems for them, and Master Zhao believes that that is the names of those two beings, though they do not know what they are.
That's kind of terrifying.
Slightly.
I guess I just keep thinking bigger and bigger and bigger, and then this doesn't seem so big anymore. That's my strategy anyway.
Indeed.
Um, I guess this is kind of over our paycheck right now.
Absolutely. But it still seems that it is something we will have to deal with.
I guess that means we should just try our best to avoid use of this stuff outside. Try to
Indeed.
temper ourselves.
That would make things a lot easier.
You know, I was thinking about your friend, your ghost friend,
Francis.
Francis. I don't think we should go. I think we should wait until we know what the consequences are, what we can do, and are a little bit more prepared. You know, we still have time to get better, and if Francis is cool with it, I'm sure he'd want us to be prepared so that we can actually do the job rather than be inexperienced and get ourselves killed and then him being on his own.
Is Francis around?
Francis is missing. And a lot of other spirits that you expect to be around aren't either.
Okay, so you see Satoshi basically start looking around. You can kind of guess that he was just kind of like, well, I'll just ask Francis his opinion on this. And so he goes to look at the usual spot that Francis is in, realizes Francis is not there. Then he gets kind of curious as he realizes more and more wraiths and spirits are not there. And then for once, he realizes he's actually alone, kind of, in a way. So he looks back to Bentley and he just kind of quietly says, "They're not here anymore."
What? What do you mean? You don't see them?
No, I don't. The ghosts, Francis, none of them.
Shit. Maybe we should tell somebody. Maybe the spirit guy you were talking about.
He nods, and then he lifts up a finger and says, "One moment, let me see something."
Okay.
And then he'll walk up to like, I don't know, like the waitress or whatever taking orders or whatever. I'm assuming, like, when you say a diner, I'm thinking like an old traditional, like, American kind of diner where it's kind of, it's got
Sure,
like
yeah.
the L shape, and there's sweet little old grandma or whatever at the register and everything taking the orders. But he'll walk up and he'll just basically ask for black coffee with no sugar, or with one what was it, scoop of sugar, something like
One
that.
cube.
Yeah, 1 cube of sugar.
She looks at you strange and brings up your coffee. And then you see written on the wall, like after you get your coffee, busy, problems at home, will contact you later.
What the fuck? So he just kind of, under his breath in Japanese, just kind of says, "What the fuck do you mean, busy? I'm dead! What are you getting busy for?" He says this in Japanese, though. So he just kind of, he thanks the lady. He probably borrowed like $1.50 from Bentley to pay for the coffee, and then he'll just kind of, pay for it and then put it on his to-do list to switch his money over from, what was it, yen, I believe they have over there.
We can quickly. Actually, yeah, we'll get that done for you. You said something in Japanese. What happened? Seemed kind of distressed.
Do you remember the ghost from the other day?
Yeah.
Apparently he is busy at home with family troubles. Considering he is dead, I do not really understand that.
Maybe there's more to them than meets the stories.
I suppose so. He said he would get in contact with me later.
Well, guess we could just walk around, show you around a little bit more. Maybe we'll find something along the way.
Indeed.
Have I shown you the Statue of Liberty?
No, I've only seen pictures of that.
Fuck it. Let's go. It's in the morning. We'll pretty much be there on our own. And we get a little bit of freedom. uh,
Okay.
so he starts leading him to the, taking him to the Statue of Liberty.
And he's gonna start looking around too to see if he can't see any more wraiths. Because he's starting to get a little panicked.
Absolutely zero. No specters, no wraiths, no ghosts. Nothing.
Oh my god, is death even around?
Gotta make me pull up the rules room, don't you?
Yes. Because, look, no, Satoshi feels so alone now. Because, all of his life, he's been able to see these people. And so he just kind of feels at home. And now now they're just gone. And he's just kind of like, oh my god, I'm just surrounded by actual, people, living people. I don't know what to do. Doing me a heckin' scared.
Yeah, as you get a little bit down the road, a familiar figure is hugging you.
Once he is glad of her presence.
That's so weird.
So, I don't know, I'm assuming she's just kind of getting a piggyback ride again?
Yep.
Okay, well, okay. He seems very, I don't know if enthused would be the correct way to kind of describe it. He seems more enthusiastic about, carrying her around than he normally does. So he'll just kind of, whisper over to Bentley again and just kind of say, even out on the streets, I do not see any wraiths. Or ghosts is what he says.
Well, they gotta be somewhere. Do they leave a trace behind?
Home. He said home. Do you think they could be in the... What is the word that you use? I know the word for I was in my home.
What do you mean,
Land of the dead, deadlands,
right.
whatever.
Cemetery?
No, the Yomi. The land of the dead, the realm we were in yesterday.
Oh, the Shadowlands.
Yes. Could that be what they meant when he said home? It would make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. That would be the only thing that makes sense.
The only problem is I am unsure on how to properly get there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think we should do? I don't know if I want to bother the bosses. And I mean, maybe we can work together to. I don't know. I don't want to risk using this stuff. I feel like I could explode in a second. I'm kind of scared.
Let me ask, and then we'll just kind of look over his shoulder to Death and just kind of say, do you know what's going on?
Let's see. Does she know she is Death?
Like, all of her little minions are gone.
There's been a scuffle in the Deadlands. You know, people trying to rise in power, and that tends to affect everyone.
Was this caused by the issue with the Archmasters yesterday?
That might not have helped the situation, but it probably has something to do more with the things outside of time.
The what?
Nothing.
Kind of frowns. And then asks, so are they all in the Shadowlands then?
That would be my guess. Probably forming into great armies or something.
Oh, how wonderful. So
Hey guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm getting too tired. I really need to go to bed.
I mean, it's almost 1:40 in the morning.
You guys go ahead. Bentley will just, he'll follow around and make sure you're okay.
like that's fine, because I kind of need to get going to bed anyway. I gotta get up at 10 again this morning.
Gotcha. Sorry, guys. I can't stay up anymore.
That's fine.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another episode of Mage 20XX.